Hey guys, Ellie and Webby here. Just a massive thanks to our listeners from last week. Managed to push us up to #1 on iTunes New Zealand, which we pretty chuffed about. We almost contemplating hanging up the boots. Then checked out the next day and we were back down to probably 50 odd. So not very stoked with how it's going, and we're loving the feedback we've been receiving on the social media formats. Been getting plenty of emails and messages on a few tips and tricks on the podcast side of things. We're a bit new to, so really appreciated that, and definitely keep that coming. And if you're not following us on the Instagram or Facebook, make sure you get along, and we'll keep you up to date with giveaways and the latest pods.
Yeah, and obviously the big talking point from episode 1 was the Win a Date with Damien McKenzie segment, which has been a resounding success so far. We've had plenty of emails, plenty of direct messages. Some have been actually pretty impressive, to be fair, some of the emails we've been receiving.
Yeah, definitely a few favourites coming to the forefront.
Yeah, we've had a couple sisters and friends nominate the girls, and a couple full CVs have been sent through it, actually, which
impressive even.
So that's going really well. So we'll endeavour to, Mike and I will probably put up we'll set up a wee short list of perhaps our favourites, put them in front of Damien, and we'll go from there. So hopefully we'll have a winner announced maybe in the next week or two, perhaps before episode 3 or during episode 3 we'll be able to announce the winner on that. And we've got a wee giveaway going now too, so Mike and I will have a bit of kit to give away, boots and jerseys and the likes. We'll put the competition details up on Instagram and Facebook. Basically all you have to do is follow and tag a couple of mates in the post, and you'll go directly into the draw to win a fair bit of kit. So get around us on that, and we'll pick a winner in the next week or so.
I suppose that brings us to episode 2, Spud. We had a lot of fun actually recording this one. There was a plenty of laughs, and in advance, probably a few apologies required. Some of the laughs get pretty loud, so we've done our best in the editing side of things to dull those down. But if you've got the headphones on, be cautious. There is a couple of times where we lose the gherkin a bit. One of the guests is a bit of a gagsman, so not very entertaining. Well, Webby, I suppose we should settle into a bit of Sunshine Samba and into episode 2.
Hello, and welcome to Trippin, episode 2. I'm your co-host Brad Webber, and with me once again is Michael Ellies. Ellie, how are you?
Yeah, well, Brad, thanks for getting me along for Ep 2.
Yeah, beauty. And for episode 2 today, we're coming at you live from Tokyo, Japan. Brilliant backdrop we've got here for those of you watching on the YouTube channel, and our 2 esteemed guests today. We've got co-captain of the Chiefs this year, Sam Cane.
Oh, konnichiwa.
Lovely to have you on, mate. Thanks for agreeing to be here. And with him is the gag man of the team, Angus Ta'avao.
Yeah, third co-host tonight as well, so I'll probably be a long-term fixture here because I bring a lot of morale, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, beauty. Great to have you on. A bit of feedback that we had after our first episode, lads, is to get the nicknames done early, because obviously we talk to each other like in nicknames straight away, and perhaps the listeners don't pick up on that straight away. So I guess we'll rip into that now. Ellie, do you want to?
Yeah, and there's obviously a few more for you, Sammy, than probably Gus. So Sammy, you obviously throughout the years you've collected a few. A pointer, a rat bait, the Cleveland Steamer, I think was what was that rock one?
ACC,
yeah.
And then Herb.
Bad
Yeah, you want to talk us through maybe like the first couple there, the pointer and the rat bait?
Yeah, it's a shame. There's no real good stories, to be honest. Sam being a pretty basic name than it is. Going through school, all the lads have nicknames. We're sitting out on the cricket pavilion one day where we pretty much sat every day eating our morning tea, and they said, "Geez, Sam doesn't have a nickname, hey? Like, we need to give him one." And yeah, what is he like? What's he? And one of the boys like, he's just a big white guy. Like, there's not much else, eh? And they're like, what's big and white? Oh, great white shark. You'll call him the white pointer. And it's just like, because they had nothing else to go to, it stuck. And then they wanted me, if ever I dotted down, to throw up like a shark fin, throw it back to the Rip Rail boys. and I only actually do it if the scorelines reflect. Well, I don't want to be seen celebrating tries if it's an important one, and I don't get too many. So, because the shark fin's actually fairly popular, you got the sharkies down Dunners.
I was going to say you'd be stealing my thunder there a fair bit, mate. I feel like I've copyrighted that, so you can stay there.
There's a few Marco
Marcos,
boys like
and
to
then,
chuck
Tassie,
that out, Sail sharks, like, where does it end?
Well, I'd like to point out that the Dunedin Sharks have been running since 1884.
Okay, yeah.
So I feel like we've got a bit of we originated that thing. So
But what could I do to distinguish it from those other ones?
I don't know.
Did you like chomp like a
Yeah, like I'm thinking the Jaws.
Don't have a good mouth there.
They came bounding in.
Could you like jump on the grass and I don't know, like shark it up, or I don't know, like
Do the great white shark.
Yeah.
The
it's so
breach.
raw power, so powerful. Getting the seals.
Yeah.
Someone could be a seal and you just munch them. I don't know, just thoughts.
Just brainstorming.
And rat bait.
Oh. Okay. Well, that's a real rubbish nickname. It pretty much came from me and Charlie Nato. We were just yarning one day, and he knew some rooster down from Gizzy who'd met at the pub or something, and they were calling him rat bait, and he told me the story about it. I thought, yeah, that's quite a hard case. I said, well, I'll start calling you rat bait. And it's, the wheels just turned, like, he's relentless, calls me rat bait every time he sees me. And then he did a presentation in front of the team recently and said that, and a lot of the boys were like, who? And then I had to stand up. So, hopefully that one doesn't stick around too long, eh? Not a fan.
Okay.
But that's definitely Chiz more than me.
It's definitely not like an appealing that, you wouldn't want to be called that, like
Nah, it's like quite a scroungy topic.
like rat bait.
Like, who do you think of if you say rat bait, eh?
It's not a lot.
To be fair, nicknames
Yeah.
are genuinely ones that you don't like, and the ones you don't like are generally the ones that stick.
Yeah.
The more you fight it, the harder it
So
sticks.
it's all about the reactions, I reckon. Like, you like fight it so much, it's gonna stick.
Jeez.
And then yours, obviously, Gus, Angus. Sorry, I shouldn't get you, so people can clarify. Not too really many, really. We've got Pahi, Gus Bus, and then obviously there's the rap name you wanted to discuss. I don't know too much about that one, but you can probably run us down on a few of those.
Didn't really say I wanted to discuss it. I said I had one at school.
Oh.
So yeah, obviously being Angus, I was sort of like Sam. I didn't really have any cool nicknames. Everyone called me Gus, Gussie. Don't know if that really qualifies as a nickname, but we had a little rap group at school. One of the boys, Joel Amosa, shout out to you, brother. He'd be on the tunes like, he's like a little Dr. Dre, seriously. And we'd pump it out like, so we'd have study periods, and we'd go into the computer room and lay beats. Study beats. And like, obviously I was one of the better rappers at school.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, pretty good flow, pretty natural lyricist. All original. But sort of, it's a pretty average story about my name. Tony his dad was a boxer in America, Tony Pulu, sorry. And one time in study period, one of the boys was getting smart to him and ended up chucking a pen at Tony. Never really seen Tony blow out or blow up. Next thing you know, we're just like, he's getting up, steaming this dude in the face. And it's sort of just like, you're sitting there like wordless, like had to get up, but bro, relax. The guy's like blood streaming down his face. His name was Junkman, the guy who he hooked, and he was sort of the guy that you'd always wanted to, but you never did. So
He had it coming.
yeah. So anyway, like handed away. But we started calling him Mike Tyson, and Tony was in the rap group, but he didn't want to rap, so I did his verse in a different voice, and then I just became Holyfield because I was the other part of it. So I was sort of went as Holyfield, and it wasn't like the coolest nickname, but it was like, hey, I had something. So
You had an identity.
yeah, but it's never stuck around. I had it on my Leavers jersey, and don't know, and I still wear that jersey today. Don't know where it is, but yeah.
Well, we might have to start calling you that because I quite enjoy that. Holyfield.
Holyfield, yeah. Holyfield. So that's how I started.
Oh, you want to break it
Everyone's like offset,
Yeah, do you want to give us a quick beat?
Okay. Sitting in Tokyo with my brosios. I just had dinner. burgers for shin. That was terrible. Honestly. I like just blacked out then. But it's funny because Anton Leonard Brown always backs himself as a rapper, and he's been doing these terrible freestyles. And over the last few nights, like, my flow's been unreal, so I'm really disappointed in my effort then. Apologies. Tokyo just threw me off. Maybe later?
You should have to do an episode where get you and Anton on having like a wee segment of rap battles.
It probably wouldn't like be pretty one-sided, but...
Tawira Kubala used to back himself. Him and Anton used to go hard in the rap battles. They were always entertaining.
I think Trippin, Te Toro Tahurirangi, he also backs himself, so...
Real rap episodes.
You know,
We could do it.
we could do
Imagine
it.
Skyping in Butters.
Yeah.
Tawira.
We could do
You'd
that.
love it.
I think you put a good beat on, and then I go to another place, you know, so...
I tagged Barnsey as Tawira in an Instagram photo.
Did you?
That'll get him good at.
Oh, that's so good. So, boys, obviously, we've just played a game against the Sunwolves and back at the hotel here. So we've been in Japan since Wednesday. Talk us through. Obviously, we've been at the hotel and there's a bidet. A bidet? Is that how you say it?
Bidet.
Bidet?
Bidet? Spelt that way.
Nah, I think
But is it
bidet.
French, though, or like... Is it Japanese?
The little squirty thing on the toilet.
Yeah. So basically, squirts your little bum hole after you've done number 2. So
Little.
Have you both used it?
100%.
Fans, 2 fans, I think.
I've been here once before, so just got my head round today and worked out the benefits of it, the hygiene benefits, obviously, a lot cleaner. So
Questions about hygiene, though, like, say you've had a pretty sloppy one. Like, we've all been there.
Yeah.
If it's spraying, like, where's it going? Is it going onto the sprayer, or which then retracts, and then next time someone else goes?
Oh, what?
No.
No. You don't start the bidet until you've finished your business.
Oh, really? I thought it was you rock it up.
You're clear.
You save toilet paper.
So you've had yours running the whole time?
Not the whole time.
You're supposed to wipe, use it and wipe.
Are you sure about this?
I'm pretty sure. That's what I'd do.
Because
Or
I
do.
thought it was there to clean, and then because I'm all about going green. So why use toilet paper when you can spray and walk away? But one wipe just to make sure, you know.
I don't know why you're running it while it's...
So you boys are wiping and then spraying.
I feel sorry for your cleaner, eh, coming in there.
Well, that was my
who
question.
are
I
these?
thought that was the go.
Your
Like, I
laundry,
thought,
maybe.
Maybe they should have clear instructions with it, eh?
yeah. Well, I thought it was just like
Probably
boom.
says, but to be fair, no one's read Japanese, so... Yeah.
Well, me and my roomie have been doing that, so maybe we're sharing particles. I don't know.
So on that, then, would you, if you were to build a house, would you install that in your toilet?
Well, I am in the process of building a house, and we went to like a show home type. Well, it had all these home things in it, like, you know, from the door handles to the light switches, and they had a few toilets on display. And I was going to my partner Harriet, I was like, these are the business. I've tried these before. They are good. She's like, no, it looks like
A robot, eh?
like maybe a disabled toilet, like, or it just doesn't look, it's not aesthetically pleasing. And I was like, nah, trust me though, we're going for practicality, and it's something we should look at. And but she's not that keen, eh?
I think
Well, don't mock it till you try.
Yeah,
great features.
I'll keep pushing for it.
Seat warmer. So winter, it's cold. Boom, warm seat. That's the first one.
The,
Damien
It's
said,
got a lady feature, you know.
Damien said they had one when he brought his house on there, already installed.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Get rid of it.
they just took it off. It must just be like the seat on top.
You just attachment, you reckon? Plumb it in.
Silly boy.
One of the other ones had like a hot air blower as well.
The dryer. So
Yeah,
Well,
so
actually, that's exactly what it must be, a dryer. I didn't think about that, yeah.
Well, there's your greenie.
there you go. No paper whatsoever.
So you'd run one, Gus?
Oh yeah, like I mean, check what the pricing is. No, I definitely think if I was building my own house, it would definitely be in the conversation.
You're on the Auckland property market, man. I'm thinking you're pretty safe.
Yeah, but you know, it's the Auckland property market, mate. There's not much to build there.
True.
So we've obviously been in Japan for a few days. What are your boys' thoughts on Japan so far, Gus?
Oh, I love it. It's my third time here. As Ellie probably know, I've sort of taken Ellie under my wing this trip. He's been a real noob, doesn't know much about Japan, and I've just been, really enjoying being able to take someone and give them the experience I've taken. So obviously we had a nice ramen yesterday, Spud. Have they done their nicknames, or I mean, I'm calling you Spud. Do they know?
Yeah. No, yeah, good point, Gus. No, we haven't.
Thanks for taking over the show, by
Well, I mean,
really
just for clarity, I don't want to be saying
that's-
Spud. They're like, oh, who's Spud?
No, it's good. 'Cause-
You established right from the start you're the third co-host.
Yeah, well, that's it.
I'm the only guest on the show.
No, to be fair, people should know that I'm Webby and Ellie, but that's pretty self-explanatory, right? We've even got it on our code
on the
Trippin
logo.
logo
Yeah.
that it's hosted by Ellie and Webby. But obviously my other nickname is Spud, in reference to the old basketball player Spud Webb. I think, Sammy, you're probably the one who made that stick the most. I think you're probably the originator of that nickname, so thanks for that. If you don't mind it.
Pleasure, mate.
So yeah, that's if Gus or Sammy or Ellie was to call me Spud, listeners. That's in reference to me. You don't really have any others, eh, Ellie?
No. Just your
Pretty
own.
standard.
Yeah, just a humble Ellie.
Yeah. Take it though.
You know, but sorry.
Back to where you were,
Yeah,
yeah.
back to where I was. Just, I just love the place. It's clean, really respectful people, and the food's unreal.
Yeah, I'll back that up.
Yeah.
You know, I've been once before, but coming to Japan sort of really opens you up to, you know, potentially playing over here one day, and like everyone who is over here really enjoys the lifestyle, the people.
Yeah.
So no, it's good. It's good.
Yeah, so I suppose talking about travelling, you guys have travelled a fair bit through your time with rugby. Is there any place in particular that really stands out that's your favourite place to go, Sammy?
I always enjoy going to Edinburgh in Scotland.
Oh yeah.
Just it's so different to any other city you go to. All the cobbles, the old buildings. It's pretty much like a city below the city from back in the day when they were forced underground because of the war and all the rest of it. So I always enjoy going there.
Yeah.
Are we talking just rugby or just
Anything?
rugby wise? Like, this is probably, I reckon, up there, and probably Cape Town. Awesome, you know, down the bottom of South Africa, nice beaches, Camps Bay, good spot. Couple other good spots down there. Some of the boys might know about. And then Japan. Like I love coming here. But if I was going to travel to it, I'm a big beach guy. Hot sun.
You like get shirt off?
Yeah. But I try and back my rig, but I don't really have a great rig. So like, you know, I love going to Asia, sort of Bali, Thailand, that sort of job.
Cheap as well on the
Cheap,
budget.
yeah, unreal. $2 bintangs and changs, you know. So
Chance?
changs is Thailand beer, mate.
Okay.
Bintang is obviously the Balinese.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so if you narrow that down, you're saying like you're travelling to a place, best place you've been food wise, like you go to purely for the food sort of thing?
I reckon Thailand. I enjoyed Thailand, the food. Same thing, like cheap but just unreal, like the different flavours and the veggies and all the rest of it. It was.
Did it come out the other end pretty quickly though, or was it?
No, we
you
actually
missed it?
like as much as I would have liked to try some street food.
Oh,
I didn't really just want to. We're only there for just over a week. I didn't want to run the risk of spending 3 days cooped up. So
Without a bidet, probably.
without a bidet.
Gets a bit raw down there, you know.
So no, we went out. So no risk of it coming out the other end.
Yeah.
Obviously, it did come out, but
Yeah.
in no rush. Just
In the right way.
normal
in the
speed,
right way.
Just normal bowel movements, great stuff.
Yeah, I think probably the same. That or Bali, but just how you can go to an unreal spot, have an awesome view, and it's not going to cost you a bomb, you know, and it's good food. You sort of tried different stuff, like, you know, seafood is, I don't know, like sometimes I don't mind it, but like going for the big fried fish thing with all the flavours, and it's pretty nice,
And what about a couple of, obviously we get to go out every now and then on tour, say we've got like a late flight out on the Sunday and we play the Saturday, like nightlife wise, best places you boys been out? Or enjoy going out?
It's always tough to beat the Toronto. It's always a good night out there, you know.
Good answer.
But overseas, we often they choose one spot and we stay there because the risk of security, particularly in South Africa, you guys know, we'll have a security guard with us the whole time. To be honest, I don't really have a favourite. It often depends on the crew you're going with.
Yeah, that's always true, isn't it?
Yeah, I reckon like Dunners is up there, like when it's heaving. You know, you go down there and obviously I love playing in that stadium. You've got the zoo there, and then is it the
Octagon.
Octagon?
Yeah.
Octagon or gin?
Well,
Say
Octagon.
Octagon.
Potato,
Yeah.
potato.
Had some good nights with the boys there, and it's always a pretty good night out.
Nice.
Yeah.
Sam, you've obviously done a few promos with the All Blacks after the end of your tour. Some of them seem pretty entertaining. What's been your...
Pretty lavish.
Yeah, it's been the best one you've run on.
Yeah, so we will often finish the last game of the year over in Europe, and then we'll get split up into little groups and go and fulfill sponsorship duties for the All Blacks' major sponsors like AIG, Adidas, predominantly them, and then there's the other ones mixed in. So you can go to random places in the world. Probably one of the best I've done, we went to Dubai, and we had, they work you hard, you get in and straight away next morning you're just into it. They've got a pretty full schedule, but we got looked after really well. We'd do promos and things for them during the day, and then at night time we got looked after pretty well. So we worked hard actually.
Salt Bay, you go there, or it's the Crave, isn't it?
Is that where he's from?
Yeah, Dubai, I think.
Who?
That the
Salt Bay.
Salt Bay.
Oh, yeah.
The meat
One
guy.
blew up on Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but some of the places we went to, the food was just unreal, and some good nightclubs there too. The best part about it, to be fair, was we went there at the start of the week, and that weekend was the Dubai Sevens, and AIG, they gave us the choice. They said, "Hey, would you guys like to stay on for the Sevens, or we can fly you home as you're scheduled to?" The only catch is if you stay on, the first half of every day will get you doing promos, things with the corporates and interviews and all the rest of it.
Yep.
Not too strenuous. And then the second half of the day, you can head out into the crowd and enjoy the Sevens. So it was a no-brainer really. We had one day off in between the promos and the Sevens starting. We went down to a shop. We got a full dress up, dressed up as army dudes. It was like
Classic.
It was me, Ben Smith, Ron Crotty, Luke Romano. We had a good crew. We had a real good time.
Nice. Fellas, obviously we want to give listeners a bit of a background into you both. So I guess Sammy, we'll start with you. I guess your background growing up, as much as I know about you from the farm in Reparoa. Ellie and I both were similar ages at school as you, so we know a fair bit. So you want to give the listeners a bit of insight into how you grew up?
Yeah, so I grew up in Reparoa, which is pretty much smack bang in between Rotorua and Taupo. My parents are deer farmers there. We're actually the only deer farm in the community. It's very rural. More or less everyone's dairy. So both my parents actually grew up in Reparoa, so they haven't moved far. But that's cool. They met at school and then pretty much been farming deer probably 30 years now. Yeah. So Dad's right into breeding good trophy stags, big antlers. So that's quite cool. It's different, unique. And did all my schooling in Reparoa right up until 7th form. So when I was 17, did my last year of schooling at Tauranga Boys.
Now
That was just to eat your lunch, was it?
Yeah. Now, because Ellie and I were of the same age as you, mate. Played against you a couple of times, once or twice at Tauranga Boys, and all the chat going through was that you only ever turned up to Tauranga Boys to eat your lunch, play rugby, you and your mate Carl Axtons. So, what kind of level of schooling you got? Do you have level 1?
Rumours are vicious, eh?
As a
Nasty.
chief.
So the reason behind moving to Tauranga Boys is at Reparoa, literally you could turn up midway through the year if you changed schools and you could play for the first 15 that weekend. There was no trials. We often struggled to get 22 players together. We had a pretty strong starting 15, to be fair. We had a good group of guys who we'd come through since we were 5 years old and played, and some of our dads were the coaches, and we had good times. And at our best, we were the 3rd ranked school in Bay of Plenty behind Rotorua Boys and Tauranga. So we had some real awesome memories there. But because I'd been playing first 15 rugby with those boys since 4th form, so 3 years, it was just time for a new challenge when it came to rugby. And also living in the country, it was good to get out and find out what living in a bigger town was all about.
What was the school role at Ripperol?
It was quite good at the time. It was 400, but
wow.
co-ed from Form 1 to 7. Yeah, 7 to 13. Yeah. Back to the question,
Eating your lunch at school.
And did you get level 1?
Yeah, I got bloody rich coming from you guys.
Second year, 7th.
Yeah.
That was Spud second year, 7th, by the way.
Touche.
Yeah, level 1 and 2 with merit, and then level 3
With excellence.
with achieved got by.
Excellent attitude.
Back to, you obviously mentioned your parents there, the stag, the trophy stag that they like to raise, the heads, and sell those off to hunters. But the you didn't go onto the deer velvet, which you're obviously a big advocate for, the aphrodisiac.
Yeah, that's probably more mum's side of the business is the deer velvet. So they cut the antlers off, and to be fair, here in Asia they're big fans of deer velvet. They've been using it for years. The antlers get ground, like freeze dried, and then ground down into capsules, and then sold in little bottles. So it's called Cane's Deer Velvet, ironically. But Mum probably started doing that at least 10 years ago, maybe 15 even. So I started taking them when I was about 15.
And that's like the way, the size you are now.
So you've got increased testosterone.
You're always on.
What's the benefits? I mean,
It's good stuff.
can we
guys.
jump
So
on
you
it,
don't
or
get
what's
on,
the...
mate, yeah.
Locker room chat,
It'll
you're always,
add a few years to
you
your
know,
career,
Yeah.
mate.
you're always on in the locker room.
Because Lachlan Boshier was telling us a story. He's been taking it for a bit, and
Yeah, he's
Here
the
comes
latest on the books.
he reckons he's rock hard for a lot of the time. Eh?
Hey,
You know about that, wouldn't you, Spud?
Yeah.
I hear it
It's
coming from the remix.
supposed to be a good side effect, and to be fair, I'm not the person asked because I don't know any different. You know, I've been taking it for 10 years. So. But if helping your joints and your circulation doesn't do it for you, then that's a side effect. Obviously, one that Bobby's enjoying.
Beautiful.
Good deal for the boys, or what are we talking?
Yeah. Always a slight discount.
Nice, 10%, or what are we...
I'll give
Cost plus 5?
I'll get back to you on that one.
I'll give you the card.
Gus, we've got to know you over the last few months since you've been in, and what we hear is that you used to be a bit of a fat kid. Is there any truth?
Mate,
behind
I
that?
don't know who's telling you those yarns, but that is fully correct. I remember when I first got into Dilworth, year 8. I was always sort of a chubby kid, but I didn't really know it. Oh, I actually did, because everyone sort of looked at me. And I think I jumped on the scales and I was 12 years old. I think I was, if my memory serves me correctly, around 120 kgs.
Oh yeah,
Or definitely over 110, and all that. And it was sort of I don't know. We'd go to Pizza Hut for my birthday, not every time, and I remember I'd be munching oh yeah, this is unreal, and then I'd see people looking at me laughing, and they're oh alrighty, and then I always thought the old big bone yarns, but then during school I just started to grow taller, and obviously now I'm the fine physique that that is presented to you today. Second highest skinnies in the team though.
But to be
That's
fair,
why I
in your
think it's a
defense,
myth.
yo-yo, pretty unreal yo-yo for a big man. 19.
Yeah, 19-2.
19-2.
So I suppose, sorry for the listeners that don't know, yo-yo is a fitness test that we do, and
essentially.
usually if you're really fit, you're doing over 19. So I've never seen a prop get 19 except for you, mate.
Yeah, I don't know where that was a personal best this pre-season. So obviously we're doing.
You could say you're in the nick of your life.
Yeah, I honestly reckon I'd probably in the best nick, feeling like I'm playing probably some of my best rugby, and physically feeling really good, mentally feeling really good.
So when did you change from being the fat kid to being this fitness freak?
Fitness freak.
Not fitness freak, but when
I
did
used
you
to get called a fat piece of shit every day of my life. Just kidding. For those of you who don't know what that reference is, look up David Goggins, great guy. But I suppose around sort of fifth form, probably end of fourth form, I started having some. I was always quite a little bit tall in high school. Third to fifth form, I probably had a few growth spurts and went up. Was probably still a little bit sloppy, but I suppose once you sort of got into the academy level where training actually became like when I was at school, gym, you never do it. Like these days, kids are, I'm pretty sure they've got trainers doing professional gym circuits. We never did that at school. So when I got into academy and started to learn a bit more about nutrition and training, that was probably when I sort of took that leap of faith. I don't even know if you'd call it that, but
You flip the switch.
yeah. But I mean, fitness-wise, I don't know. I've probably got like a good mix of white jeans with island jeans. So I got like the like white legs, but like the island size. So maybe that's sort of
You're
part of
gifted,
it.
mate.
Gifted.
Is that selective breeding?
Gifted gab.
Yeah.
Obviously, at the start of this year, you didn't have a contract to your name, and obviously now you're saying best foot of your life, which is obviously congratulations to you and the way you've flipped the boat. What were sort of job options? Did you ever start looking and like you got that one? You're thinking, I could actually have to go to that now. That footy might not have something.
Yeah,
for
I
this year.
sort of knew that footy wasn't going to end for me. It was just at the time I didn't get a contract in Australia, came back to New Zealand, signed a 2-year deal with the Naki. Couldn't really look overseas because of my little boy. Had some health problems, so I was sort of just looking for maybe putting my foot into the door on some opportunities that I might like to have in the future while waiting for Mitre 10 and then see what happened after that. So I went and saw like a careers person. Always sort of wanted to do something in TV like for the future, like whether that's with rugby or whatever. So I got in contact with a couple of people and a couple of opportunities came up. Also got a couple of houses in Auckland, and so property was another option that I was sort of looking at. But it was just sort of like a bit scary where it's like, wow, like, I've always had these contracts year after year, always felt like it wasn't going to end, or not until for another 10 years, hopefully. And then you get to the situation where you're like, far out, like I don't have anything guaranteed. You've been getting paid quite well, you've got a little family, having to make sacrifices. But obviously it's worked out all right, just enjoying being part of this great club.
Nice, man. You've been with a few teams now, a bit of a journeyman, you could say.
Yeah.
You're a bit of a jokester within our group. Did an unbelievable Japanese game show host impression last night.
Hey.
Had the boys in fits. Have you always been the gag man in every team, or has that sort of come on through experience and bit age?
Like I've always liked to joke around. Like I suppose, like probably being that little fat kid, you become like the joker. So I've always like been like that. I love to smile. I love to have a laugh. Probably when I first got into pro rugby, being a young kid, you felt like there's all these pressures, especially when I came in the age of Super Rugby and even Mitre 10. It was a lot older than what you see today. Now there's 22-year-olds running amok. Back when I came in, it was like 30-year-olds, real seasoned veterans that were like old school, like, you've got to be serious. So I sort of was probably capped a little bit early. Yeah. But then as the years went on, got a little bit more comfortable and could really be myself and realised that I didn't need to be in this mould that everyone else sort of saw. Like, the way you're really going to enjoy it is being yourself. So that's probably, especially over the last few years, I've just been like, I'm not going to change, who I am.
Yeah. Can you do the Asian impression, the game show?
Maybe sell us the bottle of water.
Yes.
Tell us.
So obviously we've had a very hard game. Okay. When you have a hard day of training, I'm going to look at the camera. Grab a tikara. Oh, tasty good.
It's brilliant.
Possible career.
Yeah.
Japanese
Takara, get in
advertising.
touch.
Yeah. Takara, fresh start.
Free plug, eh?
Wow, they're getting plugs. Yeah.
Oh, brilliant. Mate, you briefly touched on your little boy. You've got a fiance and a young boy. So how's dad life treating you? Really does.
Unreal, loving it. It sort of puts things into perspective and change what your priorities are. Me and the missus used to enjoy obviously enjoy life, do whatever. But having a little boy, sort of, he's number one priority. And like I said before, when no contracts came up, like could have gone overseas, but that meant leaving my family here, and to me that's not what I wanted. But love having a man, like how they grow up, even like changing all his shitty diapers and spews and all that sort of thing. It's just those little, sometimes you have a big day training, you get home and he's like crying, you're just like you got to just take a couple of deep ones and just go, all right, dad mode now. But like so rewarding. Cramp.
Get some.
Oh my god, so tasty too. But yeah, like so rewarding just to see how they grow, and he's got a big head like me. Like I've got him as my wallpaper, and I just look at it all the time, every day, and just puts a smile on my face. So life changing, but probably one of the best things that's happened to me.
Yeah, Sammy, you mustn't be far away from
You
it.
can't be far off, actually.
You and Harry have been together a while now. You mustn't be far away from being dad too.
That's pretty rich coming from you, Ellie. Do the listeners know that Ellie's recently engaged?
Well, we were going to get to that.
Were we?
Oh, yeah. So, you're a dog owner.
Yeah.
And that's as good as a ring, isn't it?
We're taking it step by step, and we got wee Willow, little doggy. We actually love her to bits. Hey, she's good value.
You just referencing your Gus back there.
Yeah.
It's just cute.
You know what it's like.
Yeah.
So, the good thing is with Willow, we can actually just leave her at home and head out. You probably can't quite do that.
You can't do that.
Nah, so, baby steps.
And you mentioned it, mate. You stole my thunder, actually. But
Just
for
trying to
listeners
deflect
out there,
the heat,
yeah,
Worked well.
well done. My co-host Ellie, recently engaged. Well done, Ellie. Congratulations, mate.
Yeah, thank you.
This bloke,
To-
wobbly knee.
To the beautiful Yana,
Yeah.
wonderful girl. Had the pleasure of getting to know you both over the last few years, and
Yeah, thank you.
you want to talk us through how you did it?
Yeah, I can. I've heard a few people asking in the team, obviously looking for pointers. Sammy, I think, was one of them at some stage. No, I'm kidding, Harry. You didn't ask me. Or did he?
Oh, jeez, tell the story.
What do we do? Oh, yeah, we had after the Bulls game, we had the full weekend off, which was a nice luxury. The Saturday, Sunday off, and so we drove up to Auckland. Jan obviously wasn't in the loop on any of this, and then made our way out to Auckland Airport. Caught a chopper over to Waiheke and over to Manawar. So if anyone of those listeners has been up to Manawar Vineyard on the backside there, it's a pretty nice wee spot. And then just had a nice platter and a couple of red wines, and then stumbled on down to the beach and dropped the knee down on the beach there. And yeah,
It's a beautiful story.
What did you say to her? What were your words?
honestly, it's all in the moment. To be fair, like you lose it. There's obviously some tears going on there. There's a lot of emotion. I think I might have welled up. But I don't know. We're not talking. No, it was a special moment, and obviously, it was a resounding yes, which is obviously what you want to hear if you've just dropped the knee. And then, stayed the night on Waiheke.
Nice, mate. Well done. I'm really happy for you, mate.
Yeah, thanks, Brad, mate. That means a lot coming from you.
I'm happy too, mate. For you.
As well, Angus.
Yeah, I'm fairly happy as well.
Oh,
Thanks, Samuel.
happiness all round. How good.
Could I come in with a curveball?
Yeah, what do you want to add to that?
No, I want to talk. Obviously, we've seen Honey Badger become the Bachelor in Australia, and
Fantastic.
See where we're
yeah,
going.
Spud. Last week, you talked to Damien about being this big Bachelor, but I know you've been talking about trying to slide into some of the DMs that have been. I mean, could we see a possible Brad Weber Bachelor New Zealand?
To be honest, I don't think I'm tall enough to be the Bachelor.
If they actually
TV,
came
mate,
to you,
TV.
would you consider it if they came to you?
No.
No.
And I suppose
if the
why?
What are the
price
prices?
is
Why-
later
Why-
on.
Yeah, to be fair, if the price is right.
Yeah, the price.
And you're looking for love, obviously.
That's a bit
let's
shallow,
do-
You gotta
mate.
be in there for the right reasons, mate.
Oh yeah,
Give me the money.
I have to be ready too. Obviously, Bachelor myself, so
You're not getting any younger, mate.
Is it
What
what's
about
the
Married at
reasons?
First Sight?
hell no,
Oh.
never. No,
That's
can't
like
do
another. Yeah, that's another level.
that. Yeah.
Can we run a competition for you? I mean, I don't know.
Well, the one for Damien's been a resounding success so far. We've had that many emails and direct messages.
Inundated. We've attempted to get back to a lot of them. Obviously, you haven't quite made our way through
Can we
the
chuck
list.
a number out there, or
A number of
emails?
emails or my phone number?
Number of.
DM me for the phone number. No, I could probably get it up now. It was over 60 or 70 the last time we checked. So.
And that's probably emails. To be fair, the Instagram you put up of Big Jim's DM list was growing by the minute, and there was at least a few hundred in there that had gone directly to the source, which is probably fair enough in some regards. They just probably didn't want to involve us, which you don't have to.
But I was worried it was going to go to his big head, and he wouldn't go out there today.
It's already big enough.
So. I was worried he was going to go out there today with his head elsewhere, but he put in a pretty good performance today.
And if anything, it's pushed himself more down. He's been a little bit embarrassed by the whole thing, to be honest.
He has to be fair.
He hasn't really talked to me as much as he usually does. I think he's a bit unhappy with me, to be fair. But no, it has been a raging success anyway. We'll move on. So we've got our speed round, which, as Ellie has said, is ironically generally not very speedy. Ellie, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, righto lads. So we'll start. We'll go one for one. So start with you, Sammy. Your best feature?
It can be anything.
Yeah, just a feature on you. Could be internal, can be personality, can be humour.
Probably my laugh.
Are you talking about like when you actually laugh, or the one your silent laugh? Yeah.
When I'm laughing so hard, yeah, like a genuine laughter that Gus had me in last night.
Yeah. Okay. Gus, your best.
Goes to me.
Yeah, we'll go to your feature.
I'd have to say my legs.
Really?
Doggy.
Yeah. No, my legs.
That was best feature, bro.
Yeah.
My legs.
You reckon?
Do you want to get up and show us?
100%.
Like, what do we
Get on your chair.
Like, I mean,
Is there something to them?
no, obviously, like
Your
it's
calves.
quite sculpted. Like you can put the tattoo on there, but under low key quad.
Oh,
Like I'm not talking mass. I'm talking like like
Definition.
sometimes at night I just get the old chiseler. Stonemason's got to go to work, the hammies as well. So low key, like not many people would probably think that, but
That means the bicep of the leg.
yeah, well,
Your missus love them.
pretty good ones. Yeah, she doesn't mind them, man.
One that Jim struggled with. So Steve Chew's called you up, and you've got to cut a Super Rugby team from New Zealand. Who goes, Sammy?
it's your call.
And why? It's your call.
No matter what you say, you're gonna get some hate. This is ruthless.
Can you-
So many reasons. Not justified reasons, they're just personal.
Well, that's the thing. It's your opinion. So I mean, at the end of the day, there's no right or wrong. It's all
I reckon this would be a good one to swing it back to the co-hosts.
Unreal.
We'll come
Yeah,
back to
we'll
us.
do
Okay, we'll do you guys first, and then we'll come back.
No,
No, all right. I'd get rid of the Hurricanes. Just don't like them
Okay.
because when I grew up in Hawke's Bay, they used to just shit on Hawke's Bay all the time and give us the worst games. Never pick our players, even though they're playing good. So I sort of just went off them, and
Nice.
for that reason alone,
Yeah.
see you Hurricanes. You're right.
See ya.
Ellie.
Mine's probably similar to Big Jim, Crusaders. I was down there for a bit, and in the environment, and like individually great lads and stuff like that. But it just wasn't really for me. Defending champions probably goes down like a cup of cold sick for the competition. But no, Crusaders. See ya.
All right, your turn.
All right, next question.
We've got two answers, Like it's
Your answer?
me.
Yeah.
Western Force.
No, New Zealand. Too soon, mate. Too soon.
Is it? They're playing in the Asian comp.
Those legs, bro.
Jimmy,
Too
much leg. I could easily say Blues, but I still love the Blues. Like, grew up loving them. That was my hometown, so I'd probably say.
So not the Blues?
Not the Blues. But I could easily just say Blues, obviously.
Are you saying for a cop out? Yeah.
Love the Chiefs. They have to stay. Hurricanes. Yep.
They're gone or staying?
Yep.
Gone.
I don't know.
It's
No,
yours.
I'd have to say. Yep. Do we have to answer?
Yes.
I'd love you to, please.
Well, I'll just say Hurricanes because I agree with Spud. The
They
way
should-
they're
they should
mistreated
on Hawke's Bay.
Taranaki and Hawke's Bay is appalling.
Well, that's why the Naki left in the end, wasn't
Exactly. Yeah. And look where
it?
they
Fair
are
play.
now.
Fair play.
Oh gosh. Like I don't have any legitimate reason. Like to be fair, I don't really like any of the other 4 teams, just because of how much we have to play them and how much the games mean and all the rest of it. But I don't really have a legitimate reason why any of them should get cut.
Just cut
You
it.
don't have
mate.
to have a
Just-
reason.
Who was it?
Just cut.
Say a name.
Steve's on the line is like,
It's either everyone or
He's like,
you
Sammy?
pick one team.
Oh, really?
It's
Yeah.
on you, or the Chiefs go.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I'll go with the Crusaders based on the fact that that's only slowly rebuilding Christchurch and
You want to
the
speak out?
stadium.
Very
Okay.
PC. Very PC.
Very
Nice.
They can spread around the other franchises.
Okay. As they would probably, a lot of talent down there.
Terrible question.
Come on. sort the speed round
your
out.
spoon, knife, and fork. So spoon is your long termer. Your
Okay.
knife is who you're cutting, getting rid of, and your fork is
Stabbing.
Just one step.
just
Yeah.
one stab and you're done.
Okay.
So we'll go to you, Gus, first. Spoon, knife, fork. Michael Hooper, Brendan O'Connor, Marty McKenzie.
Oh, is this personalised?
No, we just picked these names out of a hat.
But has he got the same 3 people?
Mate, just answer the question. You want a
Okay.
speed round, and you're asking.
Okay. I'll spoon Brendan O'Connor. I'll
Features.
cut Marty McKenzie because he's such a prick. And I'll fork Michelle Hooper.
Michelle Hooper.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for you, Sammy, we've got spoon, knife, and fork. Guzzler. Sorry, Brody Retallick.
Yeah.
Liam Squire, and a deer.
Oh, you know who gets a spoon.
No, he loves deer.
I'll spoon Liam Squire.
Ooh.
I'll knife Guzzler because I can't picture the fact having to fork him.
But the deer's easier.
sorry, big man.
And we'll leave it.
Oh yeah, but the deer's easier.
Brilliant.
Time.
Hey, gents, really appreciate you guys both coming on. Obviously, you just played a massive match against the Sunwolves tonight, so you're probably a bit tired, and probably one of the last things you wanted to do, especially after all your media, Sammy in particular. So, really appreciate you giving us the time. Had a great few minutes with you tonight, boys. Hope the listeners have got to know you a little bit better, and we thank you a lot for your time. Cheers, boys.
Arigato gozaimasu.
Pleasure's been all ours, to be fair. It's been good.
Yeah.
Thanks, lads.
Sweet.
And thank you to our listeners. We've loved the feedback we've been getting via our email and our Instagram page. So get along there if you aren't, and give us some feedback on what you think and what you want to hear from the next few episodes. Thank you.
It's Ellie and Webby out. Cheers.
We're on the bus in 10.